what will be the first editing vlog for my newest project for July, Project Big. B-I-G. So, the three things that I am working on today, which have taken up a substantial amount of time because I did not remember how difficult it is to format and the process that it takes to format. I'm trying to do some light editing and formatting of Unmasked so that I can get it republished by August. I'm just going to say August. And I'm trying to do 3 chapters a day for the 16 days that I am actually working in this month. On Project Big, I was going to do a complete read through, but when I went into my document today, I realized that when I was working on it before, that I had started already rewriting things, and so I'm going to move forward with what I have rewritten, and then I will read and adjust and do the things that I need to do in order to make it come together as a fully realized story. And then I also plan on for the 16 days of this month to do at least one sprint of Unbridled so that I can get the first draft of Unbridled completed. So I don't know. I may have put too much on my plate, especially after today. I realized that it's a lot. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of the formatting and all of that stuff, so that will not be as difficult tomorrow, and I should have a better day. So I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know that I am following through on my plan, what my plan is, and that I am back to fill your screens with my face again. So here we are. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is creatively just loving whatever they're working on. I do not participate in Camp NaNo. I've been thinking that maybe I might participate in the actual the NaNoWriMo in November, but I don't know and don't have a definitive answer right now. So I just wanted to check in today and let you know that on Project Big, I got two chapters done today, and I am really excited about this book. It is a departure from all the other contemporary fiction that I've written, because this is probably, I guess because of the age range of the character, it'll probably be considered new adult contemporary fiction. And it's about a young dancer and her journey to not only accept herself, but also to accept that despite what other people think about her, she is meant to be in the dance space. So I'm excited to be writing it. I can't wait to finish it and get it out into the world. My current plan is to try to publish 2 books next year. This one being the first one, and then the 3rd installment of my Remembering June series being the 2nd one. So one I'm hoping to publish in June, and the other one I'm hoping to publish at the end of the year in December. So that is my current plan in terms of publishing and getting the writing done. And then of course Unbridled would come out that following year, more than likely in June. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue to keep writing. I'm going to continue to keep, creating new projects. I have a lot of projects up in my head that I need to get down on paper, and I'm excited. So I'm going to sign out for today, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good morning. Good morning. So it is really early this morning. I decided to get up early. I have been doing my food delivery a little bit earlier this week. And I've also been getting up earlier because as I'm waiting for orders to come in, if they do come in, then I am working on some of my writing. So if you're here watching this, this is a check-in on what is today? July 6th, which is Thursday, for the editing vlog. And so let's get down to business. So if this is the first time that you're joining me for the editing vlog, I am working on a project that I have simply titled Project Big. It is a dance story that I've written a first draft for. It's a young, I'm going to call it a new adult novel, that contemporary fiction novel that I'm working on, that has a dance element in it. And my main character's name is Shadiah. She is. I remember. So the story behind this story is I just remember being a dancer back when I was like 20, probably over 20 years ago. And always feeling inadequate, always feeling like I didn't belong. And Shadiah has this extra added element of being a more curvy girl. Um, I was thinking today that my comfort zone is writing in past writing dual timelines, because I like to show where the characters come from and why they are the way they are, which that is my comfort zone. And I had started in one direction with Shadiah's story where I stayed pretty much in the present day. But as I've rewritten it, I know right now that I have already written the very first chapter is in the past, and it kind of explores her mother and her father's relationship, and how she got to her present day situation. So then I had started the other day when I was working on the novel, I had started writing another chapter that was going to be added, that was also in the past, that was after this big event had happened in Shadiah's life that had kind of shaped her. Um, and then last night I was laying there and I was thinking, I don't know if Shadiah's story requires me to travel back and forth like that. So that is something that I'm going to consider for the the third draft of this novel, because there will be a third draft, because it's not perfect yet for me. Um, I've been adding, like I said, I've started adding chapters that I feel like it's missing. I do not do a full read through, and I should have started this by explaining what my process is. So I'm going to have to try to add that in at some point. But for now, I'm going to try to get back to this chapter that I'm currently writing in this draft of Project Big, and I will go from there. And then maybe when I check in later, I will explain what my editing process actually is, because I think that's important. So anyway, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hello, everyone. So it's the end of the day today. It has been a incredibly, let me see if I can adjust this. It has been an incredibly long day today. So I didn't share this yet, but I recently was in a fender bender with someone in a parking lot while I was out doing food delivery. And so today I had to turn my car in and get the estimate, and so in essence my car will be out of commission for like the next 3 weeks. I won't go into any more details than that, but it was a really, really rough day today. It started early with me doing food delivery in my mom's car, and then trying to record, trying to get some writing in this morning. And I did. So the day was not a best. I have been trying to stick to some of the things that I initially wanted to do when I started this channel, which was like showing up for myself daily. Even if I don't do as much as I would like to do creatively in the day, making sure that I always make time for my creative pursuits. And I've been doing that. I've been doing that since April when I started this channel. And I'm exhausted, but sitting down every day, showing up for myself in that way has been tremendously healing for me. And so I just want to say that as we come to the end of another week, because this is Thursday and tomorrow will be Friday, that again, consistency is so important. And sometimes it's hard to be consistent in the way that we want to be consistent. But what I realize is that the small wins are always better than no wins at all. So let's talk a little bit about where Project Big stands, because that's the whole reason for these editing vlogs. So today I worked on a new chapter that was not in the original story, but I've decided to add. And I also decided that I am going to use maybe not as many flashback scenes in this novel in order to tell the story as I have in previous novels, but I plan on definitely using some flashbacks in this novel. So the scene I was writing today was a flashback, and it's kind of a scene to set up why her relationship is so strained with her mother. again, I've come to realize that I have written a story where the dad is very much involved in his child's life, very much there, very much cares and loves for her, but the mother-daughter relationship is strained. There has got to be something there. Help mentally that keeps returning me to these stories. And one day I'm gonna figure it out, but this is not that day. But I'm pretty excited about this chapter. Um, I think it kind of shows where Shadiah is and why she perceives herself the way that she does now. And the most important thing for me in writing characters is writing characters that are very well rounded. What I have also realized, though, that I have got to work on is I suffer from white room. I think is it white box syndrome? White room syndrome? I can't remember. Because as I'm reading over like and doing the formatting for Unmasked, I'm realizing that there's some scenes where I don't have enough description and I don't have enough sensory stuff in the scene. And so I'm wondering if it's required in every scene. So maybe you guys can answer that for me, because I'm unsure if whether it should be something that is required in every single scene. Um, I think I do good with like the actions of the characters and they're not just sitting there like motionless talking back and forth, but I don't always do very well with the others, with the sensory stuff and the description and all of that stuff. So that is something that I'm going to work on. And for now, I'm going to close out because I am exhausted and I want to go to bed, but I wanted to make sure that I checked in again today because tomorrow I officially close this vlog out and then I am going to publish it on, I think, Saturday, like I would normally do my work in progress vlog. And that's that. So I hope everyone has had a fantastic week. And I'm looking forward to closing out this week with a bang. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. So, here's the thing. I keep wanting to to be this fantastic vlogger that gets all the B-roll and gets all the footage that I need to share a little bit more about my day. So as you see earlier, I was out door dashing and I planned on like filming a little bit, like walking up to the door, walking up to the restaurants. Well, as you can see from this check-in, that did not happen. So later on, hopefully, if I remember, I will record some footage and insert it in here. But I'm checking in now because I'm getting ready to start my creative stuff for the day. And I've been just thinking about so much over the past week. And one of the things is about what my vision was when I first started this channel. How I keep having to remind myself to be flexible, to be open, to be available to opportunities, to not compare myself to other creators that are established here on YouTube, to not compare my work to other people's work. As we all know, I think as creators, we all battle imposter syndrome, which those are words I am working really hard to remove from my vocabulary because there is no imposter in me or in you if we are out here doing the work and doing what we love. So therefore there is no syndrome either because we're not imposters. There is no syndrome. And it's just sometimes the feeling you get that you don't measure up. But I want to tell you that you do measure up. You measure up to your standards, to not to anyone else's, but to yours. And I had a conversation with a lady that I work with at my full-time job, and I've worked with her the entire 10 years that I've been there. And she was telling me how, that I was a special person and that my dreams needed to become goals and not just dreams anymore. My dream of becoming a full-time author has to be the goal here. But I think it can be fun along the way, and that's why I want to keep encouraging you, because I am encouraging you, I'm encouraging myself that this race is not given to people who give up halfway through the race. And that honestly used to be me. Like, I would give up at the earliest signs of trouble. Or, I would write something and then be like, okay, is this really good enough? Because because like my books, like for instance, the 3 books that I've put out into the world, they haven't sold many copies. And you begin to attach the result to, or the outcome to your worth. And what I'm finding about content creation is that same way. Like, I'm starting to attach the results to my worth and whether people see me. And I'm out of that era of my life. I want to move out of that era of my life and really embrace the fact that I'm doing the work as a creative. I'm here, I'm doing it, and regardless of who is and who isn't seeing it, I have to keep choosing me. I have to keep choosing my work, my creative pursuits, because I have to believe that they're worth it. And I just want to encourage you to keep believing in yourself, and don't forget that your art is your art and no one else in this world can do it like you. And I know that I've said that in several other videos, but this is just a reminder because I think I needed this reminder this week that this is your race. Stop making it about everyone else and just focus on you. I was watching one of Kate Kavanaugh's 24-hour novel writing challenge video this morning, and I was looking at how beautifully she vlogs and how beautifully everything comes together, and I was like, oh my god, how am I ever gonna get there? And it's not about, and then like now I'm thinking like it's not about being a carbon copy of someone else. Yes, I want my vlogs to get better. Yes, I want to remember to record footage and put it into these videos, but it gives me something to aim for rather than something to be disappointed in myself about. So I just wanted to say that. Let's stop comparing. Let's stop being those people that thinks that we need to be like someone else or that we need to be better based off of someone else's performance. That's all I gotta say. So I've got to get to the work because I've got a lot of it to do, and I've got to go out again and do more food delivery. So here we go. Hello, my creative peeps. I'm back to close out the vlog for this week. So, again, I did not record myself doing any food delivery. And because it just made me realize how boring, how truly boring my life is right now. I had all these plans this summer to pick up new hobbies and to make this a really fun summer for myself because I was supposed to be returning to my fun. Um, yes, I am plugging here. I'm plugging my video about, returning to joy. I'm pretty sure that's not the title that I chose, but it's something along those lines. And that was a huge focus of mine, and it just helps me to see. I just recently watched JC's video um, about her mid-year writing goals. She was her check-in for her mid-year check-in of her writing goals. And she surprisingly did like 5 out of the 12 things she had on her list. She was surprised. And I personally am not surprised because it's funny because how we don't realize the amount of productivity we have when we're in the midst of it until after we take the time to really focus in on it. So I'm going to stop this here for now, and I'm going to come back with kind of like a recap of the week in terms of the projects that I'm working on. So I had to take some notes, and you know how I love sticking my notes on, what are these? Post-its? Those that I figured out the word, and you guys were no help. Anyway, so this is where I stand at the end of this week on all of the different projects that I'm working on for the month of, well, actually for this quarter of the year. So, just to recap what I'm working on the second draft of a book I am only calling Project Big right now because I don't have a title for it. I am working on the republishing of Unmasked, and I am working to finish the first draft of Unbridled, which is the second book in my what I have decided to call my Transgender Divas series. That is what I've decided to call it. And so here are the results. So after a week, this week, on Project Big, I was able to read and revise 35 pages. I added a new chapter, and the total pages I have read and revised for the week are 41 of 282 pages. I know. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is because I added a chapter. I didn't just read through because that is not the process that I use in order to revise a novel. I like to jump in the revisions and start adding things that I feel need to be added and taking things out that need to be taken out. And I don't even bother reading through the entire manuscript because I'm going to end up doing that anyway as I'm revising. So I just skip that step. So those are the results for the first week of working on Project Big in July. I am sorry. I don't know why my nose is so stuffy today. on the Unmasked republish, I edited and reformatted through chapter 12. So chapters 1 through 12 are completely ready to go. They look fabulous, they look beautiful, they look formatted, and they look professionally formatted, and I couldn't be happier. So the only thing is that I was supposed to edit and reformat 15 chapters this week because I'm supposed to be working on 3 chapters, 3 chapters a week, 3 chapters a day. But here's the thing. I realized that I broke that down into the 16 days that I am going to be creating content and writing in the month. And so even though it seems like I'm behind, I will have some time to catch up. Because technically the only thing I didn't get done today was the chapters for today. So, yes, I'm starting behind the 8 ball next week, but I'm going to try to catch up next week and try to get myself back on track. So, that is what's going on with Project Republished Unmasked. As for Unbridled, I added, so first of all, I started with 66,095 words on when I started. I only wrote three times this week. I'm only doing one sprint for each. I'm only doing one sprint of 30 minutes in this manuscript since I wrote so much in April, May, and June. I just feel like now I'm kind of on the tail end of this, and so I'm not going to dedicate as much time to it, but I do want to finish it before the end of the quarter. So if I find that I need to add that extra sprint in the month of, what is it? It would be September, because that's the last month of this quarter, then I will. So I ended up finishing with 68,322 words for a total words written for the week of 2,227 words. Guys, I am almost at the 70,000 word mark, which means I only have about 10,000 words left in order to finish this manuscript and bring it to completion. The first draft will be donezo, and I will be able to move on to a new project while continuing to work on this one, and while continuing to work on Project Big. And I'm pretty happy. I think this week, considering all the stuff that has gone on this week, I consider this week to be a success. So I know that we're all very goal oriented and we want to get as much done as possible. But the bottom line is we're moving, as long as you're doing something, you're moving the needle, which is something that I talked about from the beginning of this channel. I am continuously moving the needle, and so that is where I feel like I am winning. Even if I'm not meeting exactly the goals that I've set for the week, at least I am doing something, and I am not in the same place that I was the week before. So I'm going to advise you of the same and just say, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. If your week didn't go exactly as planned, it's okay. Pick yourself up. Do it again next week. And do your best. Because that is the thing about us as human beings, that one week of our best is not going to be the same as the next. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to say have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed my vlog. And I am signing off for the week. And I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.